One time I was working somewhere and a guy, in the conversation, it came out that I was a Muslim, and the guy was saying, oh, I was reading in the Times newspaper that those that convert to Islam are most likely to be extremists and terrorists. So because you converted to Islam, that means you're most likely to be an extremist and terrorist.
I converted to Islam, then I went to go visit my dad in Nigeria. And when I was there, I remember I dressed up, it was a Friday, so I dressed up in like my clothes, not Islamic, not like, you know, the typical polyester Saudi thobe kind of thing, but I was wearing clothes that were, because Nigeria is very much divided amongst ethnic lines, so it's like, I had come from the north, I was in the north, I was in Gombe and Abuja before I went down to the south to visit my dad, so I had clothes that were northern clothes, which were affiliated with Muslim tribes, Hausa, Fulani, etc. So I was there wearing my northern, you know, my Muslim clothes, looking for a place to pray Friday prayers, and all my cousins were like, hey, Boko Haram, hey, don't come and blow us up, like giving me all these kind of sly comments, and like, you know, so yeah, that's where I've experienced Islamophobia.
I feel like in school I actually got that the most, and it was coming from like black Christians. So it's literally like I have black Christians in my family, so it's like you people are actually my family, but they were sort of attacking me with like no knowledge of Islam, just sort of saying like, oh, you worship some next god, like let's fight, let's argue. So yeah, it's quite sad that there's sort of that total disconnect, and they're just like, they've got no understanding of like what it is that we believe in.
And then you have to justify yourself. I think that's the one thing.
Having to justify yourself. Like, I'm totally not argumentative at all. So yeah, I'm not into that whole thing. But normally I'd have like my crew that are like, okay, yeah, let's go, and like debate with them, but yeah.
So I'm running towards this bus, and this girl comes up towards me, and she's like at least a foot taller than me, because I'm quite small then in year 7, and she's like pushing me and barging me, saying, go back to your country, you effing terrorist, you're gonna go back to just all this stuff. And I remember just like being so shocked, because I was already like frantic about being late. You know, in year 7 when you just don't want to be late and you're just trying to be good. I'm already having that on my mind, and then this person's now come to basically assault me, telling me all this stuff that till this day I think I've just packaged it and moved it to the side, such that I remember it but I don't remember it, sort of thing. Like telling the story now, it's giving me some sort of like, I don't know, off feeling.
The feels.
I just remember being so stunned and so shocked, like, whoa, and just so defenseless, because I had no one around me. She had her friend by her who was kind of like egging her on, and like no one was there. And yeah, and then at the end I just ran to school. I think by the time I got to school, I don't know what happened, but every time I tell the story, it's just, my heart just feels some type of way. It's just not nice.
One time I wanted to do an event in Halsden, and there's some issues around gang crime and things like that. And the best place to do it in was this hall. It was a church hall, and it was the most neutral place. I was to speak to some people that I know, and they'll say, no, yeah, only do it in this area because of the gang thing, whatever. So I went to the church hall, and they said, okay, yeah, good idea, we want to help you. He said, by the way, what's your name? So when I told them my name, hold on, Ismail, what, are you a Muslim? I said, yeah. Sorry, Muslims can't book this place. So they say, yeah, we don't allow Muslims to book it. So I went to complain to the council, and the council was saying, well, that's what they said. I said, huh? So then we tried to challenge it, and they wrote it in their constitution that Muslims can't book their place. And they said, no, because we don't want you trying to convert people to Islam. I said, no, this is nothing to do about religion. This is about talking about issues in the community.
One of my relatives was like, pointing at some niqabis, was like, look at those ninjas, and he was laughing. One thing I come across a lot is how Islam spread, especially to West Africa, through slavery. It's a religion of slavery, and this is coming from people who are black within your own community. They're not Muslim, and they make these very brash comments, and they don't know that Islam actually primarily spread through trade in West Africa and trickled down throughout society. And these sorts of statements that are spread around can become very damaging. I've been told by different people when I converted, they're going to kill for this religion now. You know, what are you going to do for this religion? You know, those Muslims, them Muslims over there, they're extremists. You know, you've got to be careful of them. You know, the Quran is so violent, and you know, these people don't even take the time to come and understand you. And it's very frustrating, but I really want to build those links of understanding within our community, the black community, so that they can see. And I think non-black Muslims should also see that whenever they're anti-black, you're fueling a lot of these sentiments even further, because people from outside the community don't know what Islam is about, and they see Muslims as representatives. So if a non-black Muslim is coming with anti-blackness, they're going to look outside and be like, I knew Islam was anti-black, when in fact it isn't. So we have to be very, very careful with these things.